All right, I'm just going to take a minute or so to show you a couple other ways that you can create things for using the tween feature with. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show off these two tools right here: the Paintbrush tool and the brush tool. Okay, the paint here's the main difference. The Paintbrush tool paints using stroke. So if I click into, oops, sorry, when you have, notice I get that symbol out here. It'll happen with any kind of shape. Okay, it means that I'm trying to do something on a tween layer, and a tween layer, it's not going to let you put something in there that's not a symbol already. So I'm going to click the new layer button, create a new layer there, and then targeting that first frame here, I'm going to target the paintbrush tool, and when I take and draw with that, okay, it makes that weird line, but then it sorts it out. And it's making that weird line because the stroke right now is set to 17.15. So I'm going to select that and just take it down to 1 and draw a line and poof. Okay, it's going to smooth it on out. That's one of the nice things about Animate is that because it's vector based. Oh, quick thing on what I did there: Control plus to zoom in, and then I held the space bar to drag it to go to the hand tool, which is right here, and drag it around to off stage where I was just drawing that. And I drew it off stage because I it's the stroke color, and the stroke color was already set to black. I didn't want to change the stroke color. If I change the stroke color, then it doesn't matter, I can draw it wherever I want. Okay, but one of the nice features with Animate is that it has a smoothing feature. So right now the smoothing is set to 50. So if you want it to look very close to the way you're actually drawing it, take that smoothing down and it's going to look something like that. And if I crank this way up, okay, and do that, then it's going to end up a little bit more smooth. But even with this one, it smoothed it out some. Okay. Does the same thing with a brush. Got smoothing. Okay, you can make it very smooth, or you can make it not very smooth. Okay, and if it's not very smooth, it's going to come out just as you painted it. Okay, now the brush size, you're probably defaulted at a circle shape. Okay, and that's fine. I changed mine to more of a calligraphy style. Okay, so if you want it to look a little bit different, have thick and thin parts in the line, you can change the brush shape. Okay, you can square it off. Okay, depends on what you want. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and use the black arrow and just select all that and backspace to delete it. I don't need any of that there. Okay, so let's say I want to create, um, let's let's go with the regular brush tool and make it a circle, and let's zoom out some. Okay, control minus to zoom out. Okay, and I'm going to take and just kind of draw. No, I don't like it. All right, zoom in more. Okay, and let's change that brush size down. I want it back down to that 3. Okay, so there's my person's head, and let's give my person a body here, and let's have an arm that's coming out like this, and let's put another arm that comes out the other way, like so. Okay, and one leg, 2 legs. Now I'm drawing with a mouse, and a mouse is pretty difficult to draw with at times. Okay, but we do have some options. You just have to make sure that you've got your paperwork turned in so that you can check out them from me. Now, I switched over to the erase tool. So if you were watching that, the erase tool, it's down there on the right. It's selected now. And when I'm erasing, you're seeing all this white come out. And you're like, whoa, I don't want that. Don't worry about it. When you let go, that goes away. Okay, it's just showing you the area that's going to be erased. Okay, and let's go back to my brush tool and paint that arm back in some here. Okay, so that I know I can tell which leg is in front, which arm is in front. And made that back in some because I messed that up a little bit. All right. All right. So I've got a simple, goofy looking figure here, but I don't want him just sitting here. He is going to actually be riding on a skateboard. And it almost looks like he's riding on it backwards, but whatever. Okay, let's put a little shadow of the second wheel over there. Shadow of the second wheel over there. I'm not going to worry about drawing in the trucks or anything like that. I'm not doing anything with much detail. Now, if I take this guy and I move him over this, the problem is you're seeing all that black space between them. So if that's not something you want, then you want to change the way you're doing that. Now, I've drawn him this big. Let's say I don't want him this big. Yeah, select the whole thing. Okay, resize it. But I'm not worried about that at the moment. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I selected the whole thing. Use that black arrow, just drew a box around the whole thing, and then I'm going to convert that to a symbol. So I'm going to press F8, or I can go up here to modify, convert to a symbol, and I'm going to call that skate backwards. Say OK, keeping the registration in the middle, and I'm keeping it as a graphic symbol. And now it's in my library as skate backwards. So if I want to resize him, but I'm not sure I'm going to like it, whoops, remember to hold shift key when you're resizing, otherwise you're going to distort the properties. Okay, so resize him. There we go. Now, I've got him in place. I can do the same thing. I right click on that layer and I say create motion tween. Multiple objects are selected. Okay, why do I have multiple objects selected? Let's just go with that. Hold on, something's, oh, haha, that's why I've got that silly thing over there. Okay, so let me get that out of here. So now the layer is clear. Sorry about that. All right, right click on it and I say create motion tween, and now I do the same thing. I go out here to 2 seconds and let's have him skate to the other side. And let's go ahead and black arrow that, bend that up a little bit. All right. I just don't want him going in a straight line is all. So now when I test it, kind of skates over. If I wanted it to bend a little bit more, I could. Makes it look like he's hopping the star. Okay. All right. So that is how you can take a drawing and do it that way. Now, like I said, we do have the graphic tablets. You do, though, need to make sure that your the contract, course expectations. The sheet from the course expectations has been checked off by you because we need to get those checked off. I'm going to do some follow-ups, but before you're able to check out a drawing tablet, that does make it a little bit easier to create your own drawings. You're going to have to be checked out on the system. You might not do it this week, so playing drawing with the mouse is a little bit clunky, but yeah, if you want to draw something, just get some practice with that first. All right, so that is how you can add your own drawings to it. All right. And coming up in the next video, we're going to work with multiple things and look at what the actual assignment is going to be.